Welcome to answers.mp4, part 1. These are going to be the answers to those questions that you asked me, and that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be part 1, because, I don't feel like talking for a full fucking hour. I want to take a break occasionally. That'd be nice. Because talking lately has been painful, and I'll tell you why, because there's a question that addresses that pretty much immediately. First question, by Austin1879. What did you see when you were high? I'm going to read the names this time. I don't know, I just feel... I'm in a good mood today. Just, I don't know why, but what did you see when you were high? I did not see anything when I was high because I have never been high in my entire life. I've addressed this... I bet at least like 5 or 10% of these questions are about drugs. And I don't understand the fascination with drugs my audience just seems to have. Like, out of all the millions of things you could ask me, you asked me, hey, have you smoked pot? And I'm just gonna fucking brush over because someone's already fucking made a question like that anyway. You're gonna waste your... I just don't understand why people do that. Dumb. By Wire96. 96 better not stand for 1996, because if it does, then that means you're 14, 15 years old and you're a faggot and die. How are you today? That's a good question. Well, for the past 3 days, my tongue has been plagued with those little bumps, and mostly on the side of my tongue. And when I talk, it rubs up against my teeth, and it hurts like a motherfucker. But today, it is not that bad, so I can power through it. By Anonymous. Anonymous. Okay. How many licks does it take to get the center of a Tootsie Pop? Dumb question. It's always been a dumb question. Since it was like posed in like the 70s, it's just been a dumb question. Like, first of all, I've never had a Tootsie Pop in my life. I can't possibly answer that. Second of all, even if I did, I wouldn't count. Okay, let's see. I don't fucking lick it. I just fucking stick it in my mouth and... I don't know, if it's a pop, like a fucking popsicle or a lollipop or something like that, then you just suck on it. You don't fucking... stupid question. I guess in the 70s they had nothing better to do than ask, theoretical, retarded questions like this. I bet people actually, consider them too, but I'm not, because I don't give a fuck. Have you noticed that you now have revealed your full name? By Wire96 again. Yes, I have noticed that, and I honestly don't care. Nothing's happened since I've released my full name, and I figured that it wouldn't, so I was of course correct in assuming that nothing would happen, because it's just a name. Who gives a shit? Everyone has one. Like an asshole. By Angerfist1211, are you part of the Cool Kids Club? Which is of course a reference to the KKK, and I am not. I was a cool kid, I think, but I wasn't part of the Cool Kids Club, because this and this are of course with C's, not K's. So that's grammatically incorrect, and I don't like reading that question anymore. By Is That a Deer? I like that name. Will you play me at League of Legends? Definitely not. Because even though this is like my last month of total freedom, just my 5-year-long summer vacation is finally ending, and I'm going back to get a GED or whatever. Even though that's ending, I figured that I would play nothing but video games and just do nothing but gaming this whole week, or this whole month rather. I haven't been doing that at all. In fact, I've kind of stopped with just games in general unless everyone's on. Like right now, I could be playing video games, but I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna answer those questions. That's my prerogative, It's a stupid prerogative, but that's what's mine. So no, I won't play with League of Legends. I'm terribly sorry. Ow, that was my neck, if you could hear that. By Wire96 again. If you could bring one character to life from your favorite book, who would it be, and what dead person would you least want to be haunted by? That's a good question. That's like the best question so far. I think that's the best question I've gotten in the last 2 question videos at least. My favorite book is Troy, Shield of Thunder. I believe that's the name. It's the second of the Troy trilogy, the second book. My favorite character in that book, I wouldn't want to bring him to life though, that's the thing, because he's kind of a faggot. But the character that I would want to bring to life is not my favorite character, but he's one of them. He's, I read his name as Odysseus. I'll put it up on the screen, you can read it how you want, but I read it as Odysseus. He's that main protagonist in that ancient Greek or Roman, I think it's Greek, the Greek legend of Odyssey or whatever. Yeah, he's the protagonist of that, and he makes an appearance in this one too. And it's kind of, I like the author because he does bring in quite a lot of ancient mythologies into one book, and he knows how to work it. I like that. I like that series of books quite a lot. I bring him to life because he's a great storyteller, and that's exactly what I want to be one day. I want to be able to just be charismatic and have people listen to me just by talking, you know? Like, just by talking normally is an act, you know? It's like, that's what I want to happen to me one day. I don't think it'll ever happen. I think I'm kind of on my way to that, but, you know, just me talking being a show would be fantastic. But, and what dead person would you least want to be haunted by? That is not a question for me to answer in this video. That would require like 10 minutes of deliberation of everybody who's dead. So I can't answer that right now. Have you met Nigger Samson by Matt the Cruel? That's a stupid question. By 426. Do you like pussy or cock? You cocksucker. I am not embarrassed to say that I'm quite fond of both, and also quite afraid of both. I think they're the most disgusting parts of the human body, but I also understand that I'm drawn to them because I am a human being, and that's just what my eyes are drawn to. I'm totally okay with saying that I'm bisexual. I have at the moment I have a female preference, but I'm not going to rule out, oh, that guy has a nice dick, I want to suck it, you know, something like that. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm not, you know, ruling that out. Why are you such a loser? Want some cowbell? I'm a loser because I disappoint people just by existing. I don't have any real talents. I'm not a talented person. I don't, like, aspire to be anything. I don't have any goals. I just kind of exist. I'm in, like, the zeitgeist of life. And, not the zeitgeist of life. I'm in the world is a wave, and I'm under it, just waiting to be crushed by it, you know? And I'm just waiting, and it's coming down. I can see it coming down, but I mean, it's going to be a while. Emperor Slappa, why don't you answer me on Skype, you piece of ass? By Cal7113. Because I just plain don't like your display picture on Skype. In fact, I'll bring it up really quick. Yeah, there it is. I don't like that very much. I'm going to put my quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation chamber. How do you respond? By Twasdoes. I like that question because I understand what you're talking about. But of course I'm not going to answer that question because I know what you're talking about, and it would make no sense. Why is it black by Wouterman2? It's black because YouTube decided that one day they're going to make it black because I guess it's the same color as RedTube videos, and RedTube draws a lot of players. I said players. I've been watching a lot of gaming videos lately. I was listening to, I actually just recently subscribed to Boogie. You may know him. He's the really fat guy who talks about games all the time. Yeah, and I guess his thought process seeped into mine for a moment, and I called the YouTube audience, the YouTube community, players instead of the community. Do you believe that we, humans, will ever have interstellar travel? Blue the Crazy 8. Not in the next 100,000 million years. And by then, we will be dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. I've actually considered this question quite a lot lately because I was watching some space video. I don't even fucking remember. But I was watching and I was like, no, I was just reading on Wikipedia the different the distances in the space shit. I read about space shit a lot, and just looking at the scale model of how, you know, distant the moon is from us, and how long it would fucking take just to get to the moon, and, you know, you consider how all the other planets within our solar system would take, you know, years almost to get to, and then you consider, like, if we did somehow develop light speed, you know, if we developed something that would travel within space at light speed, it would still take, you know, way longer than any human could possibly live, you know, at a non-stop light speed rate to get to the next solar system. And interstellar travel kind of, you know, it's kind of, I don't think that we will ever get even achieve light speed, to be honest. Maybe one day, but I will definitely not be alive to see it. Um, and of course, since I won't be alive to see it, I don't give a shit. Alright. Do you have a problem with homophones? Shadow Crashed 81. I was brushing over these questions earlier, and I saw that question, and I have no idea what a homophone is. It sounds like I should, but I just don't know. Homophone. Let's see. Homophone is a word that is pronounced the same as another word, but differs in meaning. Oh, okay. Alright, so like a carrot growing in the ground and a carrot of gold. Well, I don't have a problem with them. I fucking love them. I remember this one time, actually I learned that in grade 4, and I totally forgot about it until now, obviously, but I do have the memory of that, and yeah, I don't have a fucking problem with homophones at all. Oh, he just asked if I did. He didn't say why did I. But, you know, I don't. By Ant-Man... Oh, that was Shadow Crashed 81 if I didn't read his name. By Ant-Manin944. Have you got any plans on coming to Sweden? I don't have any plans on going to Sweden, but I would like to. I guess that's a goal in mind, but I don't think I'd go out of the way to actually achieve it. If it was convenient and I had nothing better to do, then I would, but I don't think it'll ever be convenient to fucking go across the Atlantic Ocean into a city, state, place, country that I don't even know how to speak the language. I would love to live there, though. I mean, Sweden just strikes me as a very rich country. Not rich, like, currency-wise, but rich, like, just culturally. Plus, they like hockey, and, I'd fit in there. What color underwear do you wear? DX1242. At the moment, I'm just wearing gray boxers, and, that's it. Did I read his name? Yes, I did. By Twazdaz again. Your grandmother invites you to tea, but you're surprised when she gives you a pistol and orders you to kill another vault resident. What do you do? Another Fallout 3 reference. You could probably go on with that for a little while longer. And I'm just gonna skip that question every time it pops up. Sorry. I like them, but I mean, they're just... I don't feel in the mood to answer them right now. Like, they're theoretical game questions, not, questions to ask me, Slappayurface. Deck Peachy Boy, who is phone, who cares? The Annoyance 1999. That means you're fucking 11, 10 years old. You're not like, okay, 1999. You'd be 12 or 11. Well, I don't know why I said 10. I guess I'm just not good at math anymore. What is the meaning of life? The meaning of life, every time someone's asked this, I give you the meaning of life. Fucking leave me alone, speak when spoken to, and stop liking Rebecca Black. Jessica Black. That's the girl I went to school with, Jessica Black. I don't know why I said that instead of Rebecca Black. Rebecca Black is not fun to listen to. I listened to that new thing she did, and I was like, wow, that's why. Please, God. Please. Yeah, as you can tell, I just woke up. By Aerodynamics. Did she death? And why didn't you put the camera on your pancake like you did in your last video? Because the whole time I was filming that video, my camera was having, power issues. My camera, that camera, I have 3, but that one runs on, like, AA batteries, and every time I fucking replaced them, it was like, oh, battery is dead, please, even though they're brand new batteries, I just, like, battery is dead, please replace them. I'm like, fuck you. I finally got it to work for a while, though, but I didn't fuck around with the camera too much because I was just having too many issues with it. By PGU2101, why are you gay? Not funny. By Rastan Wins. What is your favorite porn site? Probably Motherless, if I had to choose. Yeah, probably Motherless. Like, porn site. But, if we're just talking about, nah, Motherless. Bernie23, him again. You ask a question, asshole. No. I'm not asking you a question. This video is about you asking me questions. That's the whole point of it. You didn't even answer it. Even though I'm going to spend another like 20 seconds on this comment, you didn't answer. You don't just demand things from a person who you're watching a video of. You know, you just if they allow you to do so, then I guess you can demand it. But like if you're just, you know, disobeying a suggestion, then you know, I don't know why you'd even bother to leave a comment. By Urti200. Would you have sex with a trap? Never in my life. I don't understand the fascination with that. I mean, for me, it's just like, you either have to be a man or a woman for me to find you attractive. If you're a man-woman, I don't understand what the fuck the point of that is. Like, that's some sort of new phenomena that I don't get it. Is anything better than a bag of weed? By DaHaloman117. No, nothing is better than a bag of weed. To you, I suppose. To me, there's a lot of things better, but I can't really a bag of weed. A bag just sitting there? That's not really that great if you think about it. Like, if it's just sitting there, what is that accomplishing? I mean, I guess you could say, is there anything better than smoking a bag of weed? But if it's just, you know, there's a bag of weed sitting there, it's not that awesome. I've seen better things. Slappa, what is your biggest problem with Christianity? Also, what is your biggest problem with society in general? Also, why do you Canadians hate our freedom? By Redolent Feces. My biggest problem with Christianity is that there's too many fucking churches everywhere. That's pretty much my only problem with it. At the moment, I haven't really been paying much attention to the atheist-Christian debate thing anymore, because I just, frankly, am full of it. Like, I've filled myself up, and I'm slowly burning the fuel. But I mean, currently, I don't give a shit. Biggest problem with society in general, just like the lemming mentality that everyone seems to have when it comes to pop culture. I'm not quite fond of that. And why do you Canadians hate our freedom? I'm assuming you're American. I wouldn't speak for every Canadian saying that we hate your freedom. I don't hate your freedom. I'm not a big fan of America. You know, I get a lot of your news up here. None of it's ever really good. That's not a question. Okay, by Marmalade8. If vampires can't see themselves in the mirror, how does Edward get his hair so gay? Also, what did Cinderella's shoe fall off? Why did Cinderella's shoe fall off? It fits perfectly. Vampires... Okay, I don't care about Twilight at all, so that's a stupid question for me. Cinderella's shoe fell off. It fits so perfectly. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember much about Cinderella, but, if it fits so perfectly, then yeah, you would assume that it wouldn't fall off. But, however, I do believe she was running away from something. So, in that kind of... And it's a fucking cartoon, you know, they either have to fall over or something has to happen to them, you know, like, if they're running away from something, there has to be, like, a stray roost for them to trip on, or there has to be some, a tall, dark stranger for them to bump into, or something like that, you know, it's fucking, cartoons are stupid, they don't follow any logic or anything. D.N. Niels, most played game in a week of reading this. Most played game of the week, you mean? Currently, my most played game this week, I think, would be Heroes of Newer. No, it would be WoW this week. WoW, because someone, Zarnos, one of my friends, put a Scroll of Resurrection on me, and I've just been, you know, doing PvP non-stop. I think I'm sick of it, though. Like, I'm done. I'm all filled up again. I need, like, just, you know, occasional doses of things, you know, like the daily dose. I need some of that. I just need, you know, dose is too strong, doctor. How big is your big toe? Besides that, what is your worst country ever and why? The worst country ever and why? Why can't I read things today? That was by GDog120. How big is my big toe? I don't know, like, fucking lengthwise or widthwise, I don't know. Can't really tell you, I'm not that good with, measurements, especially American measurements. But, what is the worst country ever and why? Probably the worst country ever is, maybe Brazil. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe Brazil. I'm not, like, a big fan of Brazil, especially since playing Heroes of New Earth. But, you know, I can't really tell you what the worst country is, especially because I'm speaking subjectively. To Tank Go Moo. If you were told the world was going to be reset to the day of your birth, and you were given the ability to write down one sentence to give to yourself or someone you know after everything reverted, what would that sentence say and why? You know, it would probably be something just like cheesy, like some sort of like, you know, one of those things you'd see on like on a New York wall in graffiti, like everything is nothing and you're with me all the time, some stupid shit like that. But just off the top of my head, like I can't really think of anything deep like that right now. But off the top of my head, I'd probably write down terrorist attack, World Trade Center, September 11th, 2001. Just because, you know, that'd just be a warning, you know, like, if it was just going to reset to 1992, and I had to warn people of something, anything, it would be that. It would prevent a tragedy, it would probably prevent a lot of unnecessary bullshit that follow, you know, with the wars and stuff. Of course, they would, you know, if terrorists were supposedly, or the U.S. government, if you're a conspiracy nut job, but if, you know, terrorists or people like that were going to commit some sort of act like that, it would happen regardless whether I warned them or not. So, to be honest, I don't know what I would write to myself or somebody else. That's a good question, though. Marmalade 8. How do you wipe the jizz on your screen? Wipe of the jizz. Okay. That's a dumb question. Brent BKR. Hey, bro, how many girlfriends have you had? Penis, smile, penis. I've had one. Razil 27021. Let me ask you this. What is the question? I don't feel like speaking currently. Floorman UK. Have you ever fantasized about yourself? I can't say I haven't. Whether it just be, you know, a fantasy where I'm involved or a fantasy just purely about me. Probably both at some point, but not that often. But I'm sure I have at some point. Billy No Mates 160. As I am Billy No Mates, do you have some tip on how to get mates? Oh, I like that. Okay. P.S. Will you be my mate? I'm desperate. Joking. I love you. P.S. This for mates T2 now. No, T2 and I have never been mates, brah. But especially lately, since I was involved with a bunch of, you know, conspiracy bullshit around his name and stuff like that. So I doubt he'll, even if I explain the situation to him, he wouldn't fucking even listen to me. But no, I won't be your mate. I'm sorry. Sorry, Billy No Mates. Bro. Another fucking Fallout question. By Headhunted 6. Why won't you look at me in the eyes when we make love anymore? Also, are you anticipated for Skyrim? Am I anticipated? Oh yes, I certainly am. No, I don't, like, here's the thing. If anybody asks me nowadays what game I'm anticipating, or if I'm excited for any game, you just shouldn't do that, because I don't have a good computer to run any game past like 2010. Like Fallout 3, I think, was the limitation of my computer's capability. Sorry. I would love to play Skyrim. I would love to do a Let's Play of Skyrim, to be honest. But that will never happen because I don't have the funds for a new computer. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't have funds to buy Skyrim after that. I could just torrent it, I suppose, but I mean, I would like to buy that game because I mean, it seems like a worthy cause. You know. You know. Okay, I'm back. I went to go grab a drink, and I fucking opened Sony Vegas instead of this again. So, let's see, where am I? Around here, right. By Renzo God 01. Have you ever kicked a girl in the vagina? No, I have not. And I'm not quite sure what the result would be for that either. That's an interesting question. By Stormkiller22. Why don't you love me anymore? I'm not quite sure if I ever loved you, though. So that's a redundant question. I never really loved you that much. I mean, kind of, at one point, maybe. We just got naked and jacked off on webcam together. But I mean, like, that's not really love. I love Lucky Star. Nope. Daddy Moo. Will you still eat that banana in 2012? If you will, what date? Well, I was gonna eat it when the world's supposed to end in December 21st or 3rd. I keep forgetting the whatever. I think it's 21st. Yeah, I still intend to do that. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled for that. By Edzy3. Are you monolingual? Are you fat? If so, why don't you fix it? Monolingual. See, that's another thing I should know, but I just don't know off the top of my head. Let me do a lingual. Yeah. I spelled it wrong. Monolingual is... Okay. Definition. Lingual. Definition. Speaking only one language. Of course. Mono, one, lingual, language. Why can't I just... Can I have the origin, please? Am I monolingual? Definitely. I can speak a little bit of French. I can understand almost nothing when they speak it, though. But when it's written down, I can understand it. Are you fat? If so, why don't you fix it? Yes, I am fat. Why don't I fix it? I simply don't have the motivation to do so. If I wanted to, I probably could, but I just don't have the motivation to do it. Food is just too good. At least I'm not, like, you know, massive. You know, I'm just big, and I like it that way. Thank God, Daddy Moo's comment was removed. Daddy Moo also says, what do you hope you will do after you're done with your education? What do I hope I'll do? I hope I'll fucking sit around and just get tens of thousands of dollars handed to me every day. But that'll never happen. So, what do I expect? Probably sitting around for another, like, year, and then I'll probably end up getting off my ass and getting a job, which would suck. By Raptor Jesus. Do you like Stefan Harper? I don't know who Stefan Harper is, but Stephen Harper. I'm quite jaded by. I just don't care anymore. I used to, like, my grandparents are very involved in politics here, but I mean, I just don't care. They used to tell me about all this stuff, and I used to watch news sometimes, but I don't watch news anymore, so I don't care at all, in the slightest. Have you ever wanted to die due to some large emotional hardship in your life? The Lonely Warrior one. Multiple times, actually, yeah. A few times when I just, you know, plain lazily didn't want to fucking go to school. I didn't want to get up in the morning to go to school. I was like, no, I'm staying home today. And people yelled at me, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'll just fucking die. and I won't go to school. You'll be happy. You won't be yelling at me anymore. And that was my mentality at the time, because I was a dumb little kid. But, yeah. That's one time. Another time, when I wanted to die because of some hardship, was when I fucking broke my rib. That hurt. I wanted to die then. That's the worst injury I've ever sustained in my life, and, yeah, it was my own fault. It was mostly because it was my own fault that I wanted to die. I was like, wow, I can't blame this on anybody. I just did something really stupid and embarrassing. I slipped on a hula hoop in gym class at running at full speed. I fucking slipped, fell backwards, flat on my fucking back, really hard, really fast, and, yeah, that was when I was, like, in 6th grade, but since I was so massive then, there was, like, fucking the earth shook. And, of course, I broke my rib, which is a side effect of the earth shaking. I think there was another time, but I don't really remember the details of it, so I can't go into it. Incognito Mail. If you could start your life over, what would you live it any differently? If I could start it over, with, like, current knowledge that I have now, and I just, like, okay, back to the womb, you know, kind of thing, and I still have that knowledge even though I'm baby, and I can't really, you know, I can't, that word that I can't fucking, even that word again that I can't even, okay, I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes until I think of that word, so just, you know, give me a minute. See, vocalize the synonym of that word. Vocalize. It starts with M, I think. Like, manifest? No. convey, I guess. I can't convey it. I can't... Meh. I'm not even going to continue this video until I think of that word. Sorry. I can't it. I can't. Okay, well, time to go to fucking Google again. Synonyms for convey. Transport, express message. Make known, impart, across, relate, reveal, send, tell, transmit, disclose, conduct, communicate. There was a word I was looking for, but I can't even remember anymore. I guess communicate. Yeah, if I was a baby and I couldn't communicate all my thoughts and current knowledge, then I guess that would make sense. But I mean, if I could, I definitely would. Yeah. But how would I live it differently? That's the question. I probably would have stayed in school. Probably. I mean, the last 5 years of my life have been probably the best I'll ever have. But and I would miss out on that if I, lived my life again. But I probably would have stayed in contact with a number of friends as well. I wouldn't let them just, run off on me like that. I value my fucking friends, and they just, they seem to think that just because, especially Darb, because it's online, Darb and Jenny still kind of occasionally talks to me, occasionally. I'm using that word very lightly. But Darb is the motherfucker who just never even bothers to attempt to contact me. So he's a motherfucker. I mean, I thought, we were totally BFFs, forever, but I guess not. I don't know what the fuck happened. Okay, that was a terrible question, by the way. By the YT Chronicles. Suppose the unlikely outcome that a god exists, if you were to die and find yourself before him, her, and they were to pass some kind of judgment on the life that you have lived, what would you like them to say to you? Bear in mind you have already made it to heaven. I've already made it into heaven, but they're passing judgment on me. To be honest, if a god existed, I don't think my life would meet the criteria of a person who would make it to heaven. Especially my personality. I'm the kind of guy who kind of... It's almost like I derive any joy that I get directly out of the misery of other people. It almost seems like that. I mean, of course I'm happy for people who I love when they're happy, but I mean, just people who I don't care about in the slightest. If they're miserable, then I'm fucking on clouds. I don't know what I'd like them to say to me. I mean, I just let them talk and I listen. That's just what I do. I don't know. By Mr. Edward Kill. This is the last question, by the way. My tongue is starting to fucking burn. What else do you do in your spare time besides video games? And would you consider going to college to get a better job? What do I do in my spare time? I draw a lot. I write stories a lot. Not a lot, but I haven't done it in a few months, to be honest. But I mean, I have a story that I was, going on, and I fucking wrote 9,000 words out one night, and then the next morning I fucking lost it all, and I was so pissed off, and I wrote it all again. It was actually better than the original draft.